Hi, I am coming on here today. I just want to have a topic, and the topic that I'm coming to talk about on today is how to be productive and prosperous. How do you be productive and how do you become prosperous? You know, that's a topic, and that's a major topic. Especially when you're trying to get somewhere, when you're trying to have growth. How do you be productive and prosperous at the same time? You know, we have to learn how to first be productive first. So that means like productive in getting things done productively. You have to learn how to do things and you do it all the way to the end. You don't want to start something and then you don't ever get to the finish line because you become discouraged. So being productive on a daily basis, that means when you get up in the morning, you already have your mindset. You already have that mindset that I'm getting up to do something. Whatever I'm set out to do, I'm going to complete that task. I'm going to complete whatever I've set my mind to do. Whatever goal that you have, you set your mind to complete it, and you have to complete it. Sometimes people get in our way, sometimes things get in our way, and we lose track or we lose, sight of what we're supposed to be doing in order to be productive on that day or in the next week or in the next year, because we have goals, and goals not only are set for that day, but we can have goals set for the next month. We can have 5-year goals. Some people have 10-year goals. So whatever it is, we have to actually put yourself, and you have to put your mind to it. Not only your mind to it, but you have to put your heart to it to know that I'm going to be productive. The Bible says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think that you're going to be productive, if you think that you're going to be prosperous, then guess what? It shall be. It's nothing else, and there's no one else that can stop you from being that. Only you can stop yourself from being productive. Only you can stop yourself from being prosperous. So, that's what we're saying when you say that you want to be productive and prosperous. So, when, prosperity comes, prosperity is for everyone. It's not just for one individual, but it's for everyone. Everybody can prosper in everything that they do, only if you are productive in the thing that you are trying to do. Or if you are productive in the thing that you are trying to manifest. If you are productive in that very area that you are trying to get done, you're trying to get it complete. You can't, let me tell you something. You can't be a failure. You can't think with the failure mentality, because you have a lot of people that's already counting against you to fail. So if you come in with that same mentality, you come in with that same mindset of, I might fail, then guess what? Sometimes that fear will overcome your strength, and it will cause you to fail. Now, when you fail, that doesn't mean that you can't get back up again. It doesn't mean that you can't start over again and then you can make it to the finish line, or you can complete that very task that you have failed in. But it's just that it's going to take time. It's going to take time when you fall, and then when you get back up again, you start over. So it takes time. It takes you like 10 steps back when you should have been like 20 steps forward, So being prosperous, that's a good thing. You got to put that in your spirit. You got to take it everywhere you go. You got to wake up in the morning with it. You got to go to bed at night with it. You just got to have that thought, and you can't be deterred from the thought. You can't sidetrack from that thought of being prosperous, because prosperous is a big word. You got people in the world, they want fancy cars. They want different things, but you cannot get these things unless you first want to have these things. You got to have a desire to have these things. Some people have wants and some people have needs. So you have to distinguish what do you want versus what do you need. So, and then, another thing, people ask for all these things, and they always ask for all these things. And when they're asking for these things, they have to be mindful. How are you acting? How are you carrying yourself? How are you putting yourself out there in order so you can say that, God, I want you to bless me with these things. I want you to allow me to be prosperous in everything that I do. And we look beyond the point, and we look beyond the fact that we cannot get all these things from man, but we have to get these things from God. He is the one that's going to be the supplier. He supplies all our needs, according to our riches that's, in glory. So to his riches. So God is the one that's going to supply the needs. So we have to first be a firm believer in him, and be a firm believer in knowing that he is the one that will supply the needs according to his riches. But first of all, you have to ask for certain things in a certain manner. And when you ask for certain things in a certain manner, that means you have to line up with the things that you're asking for in a certain manner. You can't be asking for like a Ferrari and you don't have Ferrari faith. You just can't do that. Some people want a mansion, but they don't have a mansion faith. They have apartment faith. So you got to understand what I'm saying. You can't be prosperous in everything and you start asking for big things, but you have little faith. You have a little man mentality. You can't have that because those two are not going to come into agreement. It's not going to be a combination. So you have to learn what two things go together. You know, you got to have Kool-Aid with sugar. So you got to have those two. You can't have Kool-Aid with salt. But some people want to come with that Kool-Aid and salt mentality and ask for big things and knowing they have small faith. But we also know that the word says have faith the grain of a mustard seed. But hey, is your faith even the size of a mustard seed? But you know, when a mustard seed is planted, oh my God, it's productive. It produces a lot. So we don't look at a mustard seed to be small in the mentality of how we're asking for something, because we'll get those two definitions mixed up. So again, being productive on every basis is going to get you further than anything can get you, because it's that mindset of being productive. It's that mindset that says I'm going to do it. It's that mindset that says that, hey, I got to make this happen, and you have to make it happen. If you don't make it happen, nobody else can make it happen. So just being productive, just being prosperous, and moving, and trying to read these comments too. I'm looking to see if they have questions, because I be on this live and I can't manage it good. Give me 1 second. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, great. So, there we go. Okay, so being prosperous and productive. So that's what the topic was on today. Just learn how to be productive, and you be productive because you want to be productive, not because nobody else wants you to be productive. You be prosperous because that's what you want to do. You want to reach that goal. You want to prosper in everything that you set your mind out to do. You want to be prosperous in all things, not just some things, but you want to be prosperous in all things. And once you become prosperous, you don't forget to give God glory, because all the glory belongs to Him, and you have to give Him the glory. You have to give it to Him, because He's the one that allowed you to prosper in all things. He's the one that allowed you to get that car. He's the one that allowed you to get that house, to get that job. He's the one that allowed you to have financial blessings. So you have to give Him glory in the end. You have to. It's a must that you give it to Him, because the same way that God allowed you to be prosperous, the same way He can come in and He can snatch those things before you, before the blink of an eye. God can come in and snatch those things. So we have to be very mindful of what God is saying in this season. So I just want you to be productive, and I want you to be prosperous. So remember those two P's, and you have to put those two P's together, because you can't be prosperous unless you first learn how to be productive. So I'm so glad that you tuned in with me on this live on today. I'll come back on another day with a different topic. So again, hey, if you have anything that you want to jot down, anything that you want me to elaborate on next time, you can comment. You can go into the my box and message me in my DM. But I'm so glad that you tuned in for this live. Again, I always end with, this is Queen, this is Prophetess. Enjoy your day.